Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I'm here now. It's 2:59 p.m. Wednesday, June the 21st, and I'm here in my sajada, my prayer rug, which is actually a scarf, trying to figure out my options. The fasting time, I'm not even worried about it. I go from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to 9, 9 to 12. That's how I do it. 3 hour clips. I psychologically do 3 hour goals. Alhamdulillah, I made it to 3 o'clock. Alhamdulillah, I made it to 6. Alhamdulillah, I made it to 9. Alhamdulillah, I made it till 12 p.m. So I'm trying to figure out about the sister that who's 50 plus years old from New York State that I'm interested in very keenly, and I know a little bit about her deen, a little bit, and her physique. Yeah, I know it, and I'm very keen to nikah with this sister. Very keen, and I don't know what to do or how to communicate with her further, as the communications via WhatsApp have gone completely dead. Dead as a doorknob. Dead. Yeah, they have gone completely dead. And I don't know what's going on here. And it is peculiar behavior, psychologically very peculiar, with a complete dead stop. And I don't know if this is an intended psychological effect against me. Yeah, I don't know. And it continues, it happens, it keeps happening. It's a crescendo, but mostly me regurgitating information and questions, and then total. But the only relationship that was not stopped like that was the Indonesian maid. But then there was a demand for money. But there was a demand. There was a suck, a vacuum, a suck for money. The demand was conditional, that they know that you need and want that, but you're going to pay money. I want you to send me money, send me more money, send me more money, send money, more than she would normally make as a maid, which would be like 400, maybe 400 US dollars a month from Singapore, $500. Send me money, and I don't have that kind of money. And if I had it, then she wants more of it. So for some reason, there seems to be some sort, by my little bit of discernment, I'm a very ignorant, unintelligent male guy. There seems to be some sort of operation that allows certain women that would may deprecate or who may diminish me or cause me harm and bitterness, especially if they are not ibad, if they are not ibad type of women, meaning that of the ibadah, that they would cause me harm. They can do very un-Islamic things to you out of revenge, But if the woman is really salihah and Muslim and mutaki, like mutazama, and they can't do that un-Islamic stuff to you, even sneaky stuff. They can't do that to you. But somebody that is not observant of the deen, they can do very harmful stuff to you, make you miserable, man. And this person, the good sister in Indonesia, but she doesn't practice like this other sister who's American from New York. She doesn't practice on that level. But she's a very, very good person and hardworking. And I don't know if she's become so disgusted with me, with my delays. It's been 6 years of delays, or about almost 7 years, of saying that I would show up to Asia. I would show up, and I keep having these delays. I keep having things slowing me down, particularly if I ask the other Muslims, look, I want to marry. I've never been able to be happy and to marry. The other Muslims will say no. First, you got to get yourself settled first. Even though I'm becoming an old man, I'm almost 50 years old, 50. Then they will be disingenuous, and then they will say, "Oh, brother, you're not old. You still got time." This, that, and then 50 becomes 60, and then 60 becomes So, and then I have this non-Muslim governmental operation targeting me to try to affiliate me with Islamic terrorism or extremism. I have nothing to do with that, man. I have nothing to do with that, man. And they nonstop, because I am the lone sheep. I have especially no marital link with anybody. So I have a feeling the operation against me has women involved in it too. And these women involved are somehow connected with Canada. And out of a vengeance for my son's mother, because she was of the Scots-Irish ancestry, and they feel that I wronged her. I really wronged her, and I hurt her feelings. And there was something said secretly that went on. I don't know what was said. What's being exchanged about the purported horrors, or that I alluded to or committed. I don't even know. I don't know, no idea. But I know that there's nobody coming and saying you did this and you did that. Nobody. But things are being done incognito or in absentia, in secret, against me that I have no idea, especially in the digital space. So I'm absolutely exhausted at the pernicious, the virulent venom spewed at me on a regular basis, and I'm trying to get away from it and to get settled down. But I need the help of a woman. And they said, and then people would yell and scream at me while I was in the torture chair at one time in the past and say, "You do have a woman. That's your mother. You don't need it. If you want relief or sexual release or whatever, you want joy, you go to the red light district. You go to the whorehouses. That's it. You shouldn't be married." So this is what was yelled and screamed at me by people agreeing and nodding who are even Muslims, secular Muslims in Singapore, while I was chained to a wall with U.S. knowledge. They even agreed to that with a director of some type of intel agency who knew about it. And they put shackles on me for him to come to the wall. A U.S.-based director, I don't know if it was Director Mullah or whatever, when President Obama was about to come, they put shackles on me that were imported from the U.S. in a black bag, shackled me, sort of like a witchcraft. It's a little ceremonial thing, shackles on me, tied to the wall that were his. And then he said, no, he doesn't have time. He decided that he doesn't want to talk to you. The director, they called him the director. So I don't know which person this was that orchestrated this. But what was seen about me is I was trying to talk to fellow Muslims that had access to capital so that we can do something halal for people to have Qard al-Hasan. Qard al-Hasan is being hoarded in the Muslim Ummah right now. It's being hoarded. And people are using it as leverage to vie and to negotiate and to pressure people into giving up their bodies, giving them their daughters, giving them this, that, for business, for that, giving up property and land. They're using Qard al-Hasan in an abusive way in Islam right now. And I figured out a way which they can wrest control a lot of these guys' hands, especially these guys that are misogynist or abusive, harsh on women. I know how to do it, but I need the help. I cannot get the help. And really, really nervous and uncomfortable to lose this sister who's in her 50s from New York State. I'm really nervous to lose her because I know she's a good woman. This is a good Mutaka woman. As far as I know, I'm praying that there's no spycraft there or in collusion with the U.S. or to see if you have any radical positions there placed within Islam, to gather intel on people or to set up what we call entrapment. I'm praying these things are not the case, man. Because nation states have a problem, particularly about the fealty of Muslims, the fealty. Are you beholden more to the nation state, or are you beholden more to God, to your religion as you perceive of God? This is a big contentious issue within the quarters of intel and statescraft. And I call it devilcraft and all of that kind of stuff. Big contentious issue, and they were not discussing in public. Yeah, they more beholden to God, or you more beholden to state. It's a big problem out. That's why some people don't like religion. A lot of them don't like religion whatsoever at all. Increased religiosity, they don't like it, man. No, you see, there's a perceived. Some of them in the defense quarters might even have the concept, the God being, what do we call it? Say Allah. Kadosh, Elohe, Jehovah, Christ risen, astaghfirullah, God forgive me. All that, they see too much of the God-leaning thing as possibly within the quarters of the defense structure as a threat. Yeah, the creator being, yeah, anything like that they don't know and they can't interrogate God himself, they would consider it a threat. Yeah, even though they profess Godhood, but there's a lot of atheists in the intelligence gathering and defense quarters. A lot of atheists. They don't want nothing to do with God, man. And they wouldn't like you to have it either, especially if you're able to move around and particularly access sensitive things or potentially sensitive, or even, if not infrastructural, just commercial and business related stuff, and have a business position and things. They don't like that. See, they don't mind certain kind of Muslims, like the British Shark Tank and British Lords and this and that, who are known to be frivolous, Muslim by birth, but drunkards or plug drinkers meaning alcohol. Pluck drinkers and all that, and womanizers and disco purveyors and all that. They don't mind that, But if you're having too much of inclination towards the religion, particularly the Islamic one, it's a problem, man. Yeah, they don't like that, man. They're very uncomfortable with that. So you would think, okay, I would move then to a Muslim majority environment, and then you'll be safe. You'll be all right. You're going to be treated well. Another story out. And so now we're seeing the Qatar, the contentious issue about the people, the good people of the kingdom or the system of the Mamlaka versus Qatar. The good versus the good people of Qatar. Nice people, man. What they call Ibn Ghatan, pure Bedou Arab ancestry. Wonderful people. I've always loved that brown complexion. That darkest brown skin complexion. I always loved it, man. Loved it for the bulk of my life, even before becoming Muslim. I've always gravitated to that brownish hued, deep brown or even deep red brown hued skin, towards even very, very dark brown hue. You always loved it. You can't get it. You can get, when I say can't get, I don't want to objectify, say can't get with. You can't be with people or married or that. They're hard, man. They're hard. A Caucasian person might get access to them, and they do, but not people like us. Very difficult. And if they do it, you would have to do it, and nobody's looking. And they would have to really be mutaqiyaki people, taqiyillah, taqiyillah, mutazimin. Yeah, they would really have to be mutazimin, man, to give you what they call a zawja. A zoga, zoga, zojat, of that type of complexion, that really brownish jasmine or Aladdin, cotton type of hue. Yeah, really incredible, man. Really incredible, especially if they feel Allah, man. Oh, man. Incredible, man. If they feel Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, man, and I mean, really as much as they can, if they can fear God as much as they can. And I try to do that with my interactions with everybody, with Jews, with Christians, with everybody, man. Fear God and have respect as much as I can, meeting religious heads, people that are viceroys or intermediaries of the Jesuit or of the Pontiff, the Vatican, people that I've met, cardinals, everybody, man, have utmost of respect, man, and not to betray them, not to stab anybody in the back. And I'm being sliced every day, man, discreetly out of some sort of rage and anger by some people with official authority. I don't know who it is and what they're doing, but the operation is very discreet. This activity, it's very discreet. And sometimes if your ethnicity is not thought to be valuable enough, your case is not taken seriously as much as other people. Like an Otto Warmbier situation, you look at what happened in Singapore, which could have been worse. American gets expulsed under ISA Act. That's a news item. No news coverage. American gets expulsed from Asia, from Singapore, under ISA, Internal Security Act, terrorism. No news. Completely, my case is the only case, completely covered, quiet. But Otto Warmbier goes all over the place, man. God forbid, man. And I really grieve Mr. Warmbier, his thing, man. Having a good life. He wouldn't have cared a rat's ass about somebody like me. As the late, rest his soul, George Carlin, the comedian, would have said. They wouldn't care a rat's ass about me. But this is a fellow American, man. And to go have people do this to him, man, it's outrageous, man. It has to be taken care of.